Hello everybody and welcome back as we have one little news recap just to kick off my little break. I want to do a news recap that's scheduled while I'm gone so you guys keep up to date with some things that are happening in PSVR2 in general over the last couple of days. Okay, kicking us off, we have a new Five Nights at Freddy's game been announced called Secrets of the Mimic. If you head over to the PlayStation Store, you can see that the game is PSVR2 optional, which is amazing. Supporting all three playstyles, of course, that's all the details that we've got. There's no real story shown off about this one yet, we just have a little teaser, but it's really promising that they're still bringing the Five Night games to PSVR2, and I'm assuming Steam VR and Quest as well when it eventually comes over to there. But it seems to be a flat screen and hybrid game, just like Help Wanted and Help Wanted 2, by the infamous Steel Wool Games, of course, who've done the last couple of 3D FNAF games. Even though the story is kind of out of my depth at this point, I still look forward to playing them every now and then, because they give some good spooks. And it's also a great game sometimes to put on for newcomers, because it absolutely terrifies them, and it can be really funny. But Secrets of the Mimic is available to wishlist now, but not to pre-order or anything like that. What is available to pre-order though is Behemoth. Finally, pre-orders are open. It's £35 here in the UK, which might I say is not the worst price in the world. For the quality of the game they've shown off in the last couple of the trailers, and the quality of the demo that I played earlier this year, 35 quid seems like a steal for this one. Of course, if you're not comfortable pre-ordering, this is not a call to action to go and do that, because obviously everything can change between now and release. I'm assuming the embargo will lift before the game comes out though. I think I am getting my hands on a review key when the time comes, so yeah, I'm assuming we'll be able to talk about our thoughts before the game launches. So if you want to wait for reviews, you're probably safe to do so and then pre-order, but pre-orders are open if you wish to now. Changing the tone a little bit, unfortunately Zenith, The Last City and Infinite Realms got its last ever update as the game has been sunsetted. This VR MMO has been ongoing for many years, and it never really quite lived up to the hype or the expectations that it set for itself, despite having some really cool VR features and implementations of MMO mechanics and virtual reality that I've never seen before. Ramen VR, the studio behind it, are moving on to other things, but unfortunately that is the last of Zenith, The Last City. A really sad tale of a VR game that unfortunately just hasn't really made it. Kicking that tone back into high gear though, Subside is nearing its release on PC, which is very quick. Did not expect the solo dev to be getting this close to release this fast. But this is the underwater exploration game, and probably the closest thing we're going to get to Subnautica when it does come over to PSVR2. And the reason that I'm including the PC release getting closer is that once that's done, I think they are focusing on getting it on PSVR2, which is awesome to hear. So hopefully not too long before we see this one pop up on PSVR2. I played the demo, was blown away by its visual fidelity and how cool it is, and if you're looking for an underwater realistic exploration sim, this looks like the one to go for. And finally, there is a massive sale on the PS Store right now. We always get some good PSVR2 games included. Of course, you viewers are from all over the world, so I'll read out some of the global deals for you now that are on in every country. You've got After the Fall at 70% off, Another Fisherman's Tale at 40% off, Arizona Sunshine 2 at 30% off, Cave Digger and Cave Digger 2 at 50% off, Crossfire at 30% off, Drums Rock at 35% off, Gorn at half price, Hell Sweeper at 40% off, Stilt at 40% off, down to $12. Love Stilt, big up Stilt. Survivor Man VR The Descent at a whopping 90% off, down to $1.49. Synth Riders at 25% off. Seventh Guest at 34% off. The Wizards Dark Times Brotherhood at 40% off. Toss at 40% off. Towers and Powers at 50% off. Unplugged Air Guitar at 60% off. And the one, the only, VR Pigeons at 50% off. Also throwing in there in America, Europe and Oceania only, No Man's Sky is 60% off as well, so if you haven't picked that up for any reason, now you have no excuse, it's on a very big discount. That'll do us for today's little news recap. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you to our patrons and YouTube members, Luke Bentley, Phil Irving, Hazit Moser, Ace Gamer, Hippie Pickle, Jen007, A License to Chill, Sun WTF, Fat Controllers, Jason Parker, Lamar Hall, Geordie Bandsman, Lemon64K, Callum Tierney, Mischievous Marco, The Underground Gamecat, Brian East, Alishimbe, D2Y, Underground Stranger Gamecat, The Gamecat, Andrew Ehrenreich, Mark Smith, X King X Ping, Jars of Ash, The Legacy of Kanecat, Hooked Worm, The Who's Here Gamecat, Outcast VR, Property 777, Test Rate Review, Salvador, Wade, FNCS, Kieran, Sean Krim, and Gundy. Thank you all for supporting the channel. There are so many of you now. I think by halfway through September, a lot of those will expire since they are gifted, which was fantastic. Thank you to everyone who did that. But for now, we got to read off that big list of names. So thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you all in the next one.